Watch. Comix Watch. Comix Watch.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's glazingly hot issue of Comix Watch. I am Nick, otherwise known as Nightfire Enjoyer and fan of all things Starfire. Joining me is the Lord of Comics himself, the man with the super wonderful taste. I don't know how much I can say. I'm glazing you up enough. It is Jared from Comics League.
Hello, we all know Nightwing belongs with Barbara Gordon.
All right, well, okay. I guess we're doing this episode solo.
I had to.
For a moment there, Jared thought he was in Comics League, but he's actually in Phoenix Press domain, so he needs to mind his P's and Q's.
But I can still blast Tom King.
I allow that. What? Whoa!
I think if I do this, it does it. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what you.
All right. Okay, so Angelus, those are all really great. We're mostly focusing on comic book people. I mean, well, I think Tifa's got a comic, and Stellar Blade's got a comic. Let's pretend they have a comic. So yeah, we are talking about our favorite ladies in comics, why they're awesome, and why we like how they kick butt and they look good doing it. So we're heading straight into the topic here. So let's just kind of go with start off with like a top five. Jared, in no particular order, what are your top five female superheroes that aren't Wonder Woman or Emma Frost?
Well, you just took out three of mine, but
wait,
two of mine. But
yeah,
I made a PowerPoint.
Oh God, he has a PowerPoint, everybody.
So let me get this started. Hang on. So I have. Hang on. Okay, well, we'll just go with that. Hang on. So Mira for number one. Hang on. Actually, wrong screen I'm sharing. So let me try sharing a different screen. I'm not used to this app. All right, here we go. Now
Jared doesn't like change, everybody.
So Mira, the Queen of Atlantis, and she actually is like a fantastic character in the comics. Like she did what's kind of cool about it is in the new 52 when they restarted Aquaman, she actually got like a lot of character development in like growing to like love the surface world, because remember she grew up underwater. So that's actually really cool the way they do it. Next one, Witchblade.
Ha!
Yeah, I like the character design. I like the story of like a cop that like gets this armor that has protected women throughout history for like thousands of years. And then you also add in the darkness. So it's like a bunch of God versus God stuff. So I really enjoyed that.
And then you have like the Angelus, which is like the middle ground.
Yeah. And then you have Star Sapphire, who is her ring is powered by love. And it's Carol Ferris. And she's like one of those characters in the Green Lantern mythos that you can't leave out. Hint, hint, Tom King or David Lindelof.
Wait. So you're saying she's literally powered by the power of love?
Yeah, kind of. And the cool part is that right now she's even nowadays. This is actually gonna be the first time she's been a member of the Justice League.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, because after Absolute Power, she wanted to be a hero now, and she was like, okay, you know what? I want to try this out and be a superhero. Because beforehand, she had the ring, but she would only put it on for, like, extreme emergencies. Now it's like, no, I'll be a superhero.
She's going to learn to love it.
Emma Frost. So...
You're queen.
Telepathic Ice Queen. She's one of the best characters in X-Men, created by Chris Claremont. That explains why she's so awesome. Chris Claremont, and really, her character was really expanded by Grant Morrison, because Grant was the one that made her an X-Men, and like put her on that path to like redemption. Because if there's anything you want to know about me, I'm a sucker for a really good redemption story. Plus, she had a fantastic romance with Scott Summers, which in many ways is better than the one with Jean Grey because she actually stays alive.
So everyone knows you as a Super Wonder shipper, but not a lot of people know that this is your secondary ship.
This is my Super Wonder of Marvel ship. Because ordinarily it would be Hyperion and Zarda. The thing about that is that's
that
really
was your
derivative.
one.
That's my one. Don't worry. That's one where I'm like, I can't go with that because then that's just saying Super Wonder only. And the thing about this one is when it's done well, and Marvel has done this relationship well, but as Marvel is wont to do, they take a good thing and destroy it. They had some writers say that Emma led Scott to be the super villain he grew into. And I'm like, no, you idiots. It was also very nice to see her in X-Men not 97. And I was like, oh, hello, my queen.
All right. Before we go further, I just want to answer this question real quick. It's from Back to the Future. That's her from. Jared, I got to ask you a question. What did you think of her depiction in X-Men First Class?
That is in no way Emma Frost. That is literally in no way Emma Frost.
Yeah, I don't think January Jones did a very good job.
Well, let's talk about that. Because A, January Jones didn't do a good job because Emma is supposed to be charismatic and not like bored all the time. And the thing about Emma Frost is that the way she talks, and this is what X-Men 97 got really well, is when Emma talks, she has an air of superiority around her. It's like she's like, I am the Ice Queen, you all are beneath me. And here's the other thing. She never once called anyone darling, and that's kind of Emma's thing.
Yeah, the thing about January Jones is probably the reason why her acting career took off is she's a very one-note actress, and that one note is like it worked on Mad Men. For Mad Men, that thing worked because the character was built around it. But for Emma Frost, it's just
plus comically accurate. It was not because she did not when she was a member of the Hellfire Club when she started off. She did not have access to her diamond powers. That showed up when she left the Hellfire Club. So there you go. All right.
Also, can we just say her X-Men 97 depiction was amazing?
Yeah, it was. And by the way, so that's what happened. So what happened is that Genosha got wiped out by that Sentinel. Then they found Emma, and this was when Grant brought in the idea of secondary mutations where people can have two powers. So she has the telepathy and diamond skin, but when she's in her diamond form, she can't use her telepathy.
Yeah, it's a fairly decent balance.
There was this great moment where they're fighting a Celestial, and the Celestial blasts Emma's arm off, but because she's in diamond form, it's not bleeding. So she goes to Namor and goes, Namor, hold my arm. And he goes, at last. And then she goes, not affectionately, you idiot. I meant to be a tourniquet so I can use my mind powers. I love seeing Namor taken down a peg because in the same way that Scott and Emma is my Super Wonder of Marvel, Namor is the Lois Lane of Marvel.
Oh.
That's my level of pure hatred of this character.
Don't you mean Namor?
Anyway. I think
the silence says everything.
I give you 3 guesses on who my number 1 favorite female comic book character is.
She brings the lightning.
All right. Yeah, you called it. It's Wonder Woman when she's not written by Tom King. And of course, I had to put in a Super Wonder image. You know that. That's me. That's kind of my thing. But the thing I like about Wonder Woman is that when she's done right, i.e. not by Tom King, she's one of those characters. And here's the thing. I know I rank on Tom King a lot, but here's the fundamental misunderstanding. He said she's a walking contradiction, how she's a warrior, but she's like promoting peace. Actually, the way it is that she is the embodiment of that peace through, sometimes peace through war, because
Parabellum.
To prepare for war, because she carries on a sword and a shield. Now, granted, there are some times when the writers go too far into the warrior side, or like ignore the peaceful side, and you can't do that. It's like Clark and Superman. You have to have a balance in between the two. The problem is she doesn't have a lot of good comic runs because they give only the crappy writers Wonder Woman. Because,
Also,
by the way, according to a mutual friend of ours, she's considered the practice book for junior editors.
See, my thing is, the problem is, Wonder Woman's a great character. The problem is, her character, her power set, like the approach, it's kind of a bit of a tough nut to crack. And like you said, some of them focus too much on the warriors, but a lot of her villains are more like exploit the power, like the mental, like villains are always a reflection of the character. Like Batman's villains are a reflection of himself and mental health, whereas Wonder Woman's villains are more the emotional side of things.
I mean, to a degree, because you also have a good villain that I think they should emphasize is Cersei, because Cersei is kind of like the opposite of Wonder Woman. In fact, she impersonated Diana at one point, which is actually really, really cool. And arguably the biggest villain that's ever been introduced into Wonder Woman is actually in the Tom King run, and that's her daughter Trinity. There you go. I was making a joke about that.
Would you say that Cersei is Diana's Joker?
She has a few that I would count as her Joker. When did the invisible jet thing? And I think it's in World War II. I think it's in the early run. It's actually, it would be like the first Wonder Woman issue because she showed up in All-Star #8, but then she got her own comic book series. The first issue is the one because she brings Steve, because what happens is that Steve crashes, the Amazons repair the plane and then turn it invisible. And that's kind of how that works. See, the invisible jet has been drawn very interestingly because sometimes it'll just look like she's like this in just hovering, but the way Alex Ross drew it, which was so good, in the top right image, he did a book called Spirit of Truth, where what he did is that you would see Diana step into the invisible jet and she would like completely disappear because
that's how it actually happened. Yeah,
it's not clear. That's the thing. It's just coded, but it's still a jet.
Well, see, the problem is, if you have her in the jet and doing stuff, how do you picture her outside? How do you still see her? I think that's the problem that a lot of people
show her from inside the cockpit. Draw the cockpit.
Yeah, I guess.
But I will say, so far, she has the best absolute book, in my opinion. I know people like Batman, but that's just because it's Batman. But I really enjoy it because, again, what Kelly Thompson did is she took Diana, put her in a very different scenario. Like, she's raised in hell by Cersei. And she still is Diana. She still is that kind-hearted person. Granted, she's a tad more hardcore, but she's much, 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 much not like Kratos. Because that was our concern when Britt and I looked at the design. We were like, oh, no. But no, she is Diana.
Which I think even you admit Kratos would body Diana.
Yep. His thing is slaying gods. Kratos is the guy that would body the Justice League. Except for maybe Batman. But anyway.
I do think if Kratos and Diana fought, Diana would win, but it's like, you've earned my respect, Amazon.
Yeah. In terms of like a runner-up character for my favorite, it would be like Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, Kate Kane, Batwoman, Black Canary. In terms of Marvel, you have Black Widow, Storm, Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers back before she was written by Kelly Sue DeConnick. And probably She-Hulk, not in the TV show or when she's being replaced by Deadpool. Ha 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 ha. So what do you got, Nick?
All right. So my top 5, no particular order. All right, I'm going to give the free spaces that are not on the list are Starfire and Barbara Gordon. In particular, her Oracle inspiration.
Yeah.
But with Starfire, what I love about her is they kind of take... basically, Starfire is Wonder Woman if they put more on the emotional side of the character.
I can kind of see that.
And Jared is just realizing I never thought about that way.
Actually, you know what's kind of funny? So technically, if she's the Wonder Woman, technically, then Nightfire is the other only acceptable form of Wonder Bat. Hey, I can get behind. Okay, Nick, you converted me.
Okay, guys, we made history. Jared is now Nightfire.
You converted me. And by the way, Angelus, I'm going to get that. I have a collection of early Wonder Woman issues. I'm going to answer that question right now, give you the year and the exact issue. So, Nick, while you talk, I'll go ahead and get
All right. So the thing about Starfire is she's a warrior like Wonder Woman, and it comes from warrior culture, but they have more of an emphasis on the emotions. What I like about it is, and this is, you really saw this during the Teen Titans episode where Raven and Starfire switch bodies, where Starfire needs a free expression of her emotions in order to use her power. She literally needs to let things free. And I've also always loved kind of the Starfire's not dumb, but she has like an adorable naivete.
It's like
I honestly think
fish out of water.
I honestly think as things go on, it's like she knows what she's talking about. She's just liberally naive to tease Dick Grayson.
By the way, the Invisible Jet debuted in, I was incorrect. It wasn't Wonder Woman 1. It was Sensation Comics #1. Sensation Comics is basically her Detective Comics.
Okay. What year?
That was, I believe, I'm trying to find it. It doesn't have the year in here. Hang on. Actually, it might. Hey, actually, it might. All right. 1942.
Okay, during the Golden Era. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like her second appearance.
Okay. Let's see here. On the Marvel side, I gotta talk about my Lady Storm.
Wait. What about Huntress?
I don't want this list to be like DC heavy or.
Hey, what's up, Cameron?
Okay. Yes, I do love Huntress. To me,
fair weather fan. What a fair weather fan.
So, I'm censoring myself in case you guys don't realize that. Mm-hmm. Here's as much as I can do. Also, hey, Cameron Bailey, how you doing, buddy? I do love Huntress, because she's got like a very similar origin to Batman, the mob connections. Oh God, there's two, like the quintessential Huntress story is Huntress Cry for Blood. That's when like she teams up with the Question. Robin shows up in this one, and they go into her origin story. Oh, it's such a good book.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read that?
Mm-mm.
If you want a really good Huntress story, that's what I would recommend. Huntress
I'll try it out.
Oh, and we got Keely Chow. We got our 2Ks here. Nice. Let's see here. Yep. The natural follow-up. We're talking about our favorite women in comics. Also, I'm just gonna say this. This goes on a.
It's Eladia. I changed my mind, Eladia. Watch the stream.
But no, she's technically a comic book character. I'm gonna say Laura Croft. Also,
actually, yeah, technically she is. She crossed over with Witchblade, which is kind of funny. When you go through the list, Witchblade is crossed over with like every comic book character practically.
Maybe a Witchblade Screecher crossover where Avery gets the Witchblade. It could happen.
Get in line. Athena called it first.
Oh, that's the thing. Athena and Screecher are fighting over the Witchblade.
Yeah. And Lara is great. I do agree with you, Cameron. Lara's a great character.
Oh, Taladia's like, the betrayal.
Watch the stream, Taladia. You'll see.
Okay. If we allow Laura Croft, Buffy is also allowed because she has an extensive comic book history.
Unfortunately, we have to acknowledge he who must not be named.
Yeah, and the
DC's
Buffy,
pervert in chief.
I'd say the Buffy comics are actually pretty interesting. They actually made a really interesting spin-off comic called which is they kind of Batman Beyond Buffy. and it was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And they even did like that like the Justice League where they went to the Batman Beyond verse.
Yeah.
They even did a crossover with her like that. It was crazy.
Of course they did. Of course they did. That's great. I love that. There's also Firefly comics, but so technically a Nara, but still, I was like, I don't want to promote that. But so how about some Marvel people? So you don't look too much like a DC head.
Oh God. Okay, so since this is a since this was a comic only character, I think I'm going to allow this. Jared, this is Frey. This is the Batman Beyond Buffy character.
Okay.
Like, it's actually kind of good. I enjoy the comic. And this was like a Slayer in like the cyberpunk future kind of thing. Like, this definitely like Batman Beyond it. And
interesting.
I mean, I love this cover. I love how she's holding it. It looks like a rock guitar or something. It's just, yeah. So since she was comics exclusive, I feel like she like that's valid.
She counts. She counts, even if she was invented by him.
Yeah. Also, hey, Black Reaper Kai, how you doing, buddy? I'm gonna be honest. I was never like too much of an Elektra fan. She's cool, but I never really like read too much of her stuff. Like,
and yet you keep promoting the Frank Miller run of Daredevil.
I've read a lot of the Frank Miller run of Daredevil. It's not much with Elektra.
Yeah. Well,
so
Cameron,
Marvel.
If you want a good run, yes, Ms. Marvel. Read the run that came after House of M, written by Brian Reed. I'll get the trade so you can have it.
So speaking of Captain Marvel, I guess it's time to reveal. So this is we're slowly approaching episode 50 of Comix Watch, and I have something special planned. All
Here
right,
you go, Cameron.
Nice.
There are 3 of these.
I'm sorry, Black Reaper. So Jared, you want to announce what comic we're reviewing for episode 50?
Wait, can I announce who our special guest is first?
Let's do the comic first, then the special guest. Because if we announce the special guest, we'll give it away.
Okay. Avengers 200.
With special guest Buddy Girl Nyx.
Because that is her, like, kryptonite. That's her, like... What would be an equivalent? That's her sins past.
That's
speaking of sins past, how about Gwen Stacy? Do you like her?
I do like Gwen Stacy, and actually I do like MJ. I actually really do like MJ, to be honest.
Yeah, she's a really good character that gets abused by Marvel editorial a lot.
All 3 of us will be reviewing Avengers 200, and possibly even having it displayed on screen. So, so yeah, that's coming up here in a few weeks. Oh God, that's gonna be a very So, like, honestly, I feel like Peter and MJ are the end game. As much as I like Peter with Gwen, it's him with MJ. It just Peter and Gwen is that girl you date in college. They're like your college sweetheart, where it didn't really like. There's nothing really wrong with them. It's just the person you became. You kind of grew apart after college, and nothing really bad happened. You still you don't hate each other. You see each other, but it just never really worked out. MJ is the person who may not be the person for you when you grow younger, but as you grow older, you two guys kind of grow into each other.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but see, the problem is, again, it's like a lot of the time with these female characters, they're used as like mouthpieces for the male characters, or like back and forth, where like Peter said, I always considered MJ more of like my sister. And I'm like, but you slept with her. That would work. If he didn't sleep with her, that works. And I love Joe Quesada. He goes, oh yeah, Peter can be MJ's boyfriend at one point, but they can't, but they shouldn't be married. So, and then I'm like,
the sales of Ultimate Spider-Man beg to differ.
Stares disapprovingly in Ultimate Spider-Man. And that's the thing. I'm like, it is kind of interesting, Nick, how they went from Peter and MJ can't be together to Peter and MJ can date.
I don't agree with this. I don't agree with it one bit, but okay, that's actually a really good zinger. I gave you props. Like, you gotta admit, that was actually.
And by the way, Cameron, MJ and Gwen were actually good friends in the comics before, like, Gwen died.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it's like, isn't it kind of interesting, Nick, how now Marvel has gone from Peter and MJ should not be together, period, to Peter and MJ can be together, but can't be married.
Give them time.
I think Marvel's about to feel the heat with Ultimate Spider-Man. They're like, oh no.
I mean, at least Joe Quesada. At least with Joe Quesada, we can trace his origins.
Oh, come on. He stayed. Like this way, you know he's not in a far off land, a Greg land.
Black River Kai, I actually won't fight you on this because I actually am Team Spike, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to focus on it too much because I know Jared is cringing.
Dweeb.
You say that now, but then I tie you down and we watch Buffy.
I got into kind of a shipstorm recently, pun intended, because so Britt and I did an episode comparing Superman and Wonder Woman to Black Panther and Storm because, you know, Black Panther and Storm got married, had that relationship. It's actually, so what people told me is that they had to retcon a lot of stuff to show that they interacted in the past, but I'm like, no, it was as far back as like, I think the 70s that they were retcon that in Africa she ran into him.
I mean, honestly, like, I actually do agree with you, Jared. If there is a Super Wonder of Marvel, it is Black Panther and Storm.
Yeah, it's literally that. Ignoring Hyperion and Zarda.
What's actually kind of funny. Okay, next Comix Watch, you're not allowed to mention God and Supreme at all.
It's so much fun.
What's actually funny is the roles are reversed. Black Panther is the Wonder Woman in this scenario, and Storm is the Superman, if you really think about it.
Yeah, he even comes from an isolated society and is royalty in that society.
Yeah. But yeah, I do love Storm because she always carried herself with kind of like this angelic grace to her. Like, oh god, I'm like, I even like in X-Men Evolutions they de-aged a lot of the characters, but certain characters they kept as an adult, mainly Wolverine and Storm. And yes, keeping Storm as the adult was such a good choice for that show.
I absolutely. By the way, so can I say this? On part of the backlash, I don't want to call it backlash because that's a little too extreme. But part of the pushback I got for that pairing was for like Black Panther Storm is, but Marvel, Claremont was setting up a Storm and Wolverine, and I'm like, I cannot see a Storm with Wolverine. They tried to do it in the comics. It Wolverine murders people, and Storm is very much against that.
Yeah. Now, one character we haven't talked about that we need to talk about, dear God, why haven't we mentioned this, is Rogue.
Oh, yeah. That's a very savage pick. I'd love to marvel at that. I have to.
The first one was fine. The second one, you descended into cringe. How dare you, sir?
Like you don't. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Cajun Fry agrees with you, sir.
She has excellent taste in chips. I'll give you that.
Oh yes, she does. But But yeah, Rogue. Yeah, she's just a great character. Rogue is the ultimate definition of look but don't touch.
Yeah, it's
The
literal
literal definition of look, but for the love of God, do not touch.
Here's the thing about Rogue. It's like when Death Battle did Wonder Woman versus Rogue, at first I was pissed because Rogue won. Then I remembered this is Wonder Woman in her, like, not fully covered suit. And yeah, all Rogue has to do is touch Diana in any area and she's done.
Also, like most Wonder Woman outfits, her sleeves are exposed. Like her arms are almost always exposed. So like even if she was wearing pants, which she has done in the comics, her arms would very much be exposed. And in a battle, it's very easy to grab the arms. Because all it takes is one touch.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, now that I thought about it, I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that.
Black Reaper, bonk.
Well, he agrees with me, so there you go.
But yeah, I've never really been a fan of Jean Grey and Wolverine.
No, I've never been a fan of Jean Grey, period.
I mean, I like Jean. I mean, I'm sure you like her in X-Men '97.
Yeah, that kind of.
Mommy's busy.
Technically, that wasn't Jean, but I kind of got what you're going for. That was the first time I've ever heard Jennifer Hale voice an evil character, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. She's terrifying.
Okay. Quick aside. What evil character would you love Jennifer Hale to voice?
Probably. Not a lot of female characters. I would.
Keely, bonk. Sorry. But evil characters. I could see you doing a great Elektra.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's not an evil character, but a good character that I could see her voicing is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because she's done the tough look. She's actually done a few accents as well. So I'm like, okay, you have that bonus with me. You're very talented, as I know.
So speaking of, there's one big reason why Jared loves Star Wars: The Old Republic, especially those CG shorts they made.
Oh yeah, exactly. Besides the fact that they are the best piece of Star Wars content. But
you should do a playthrough of the Republic side because like the teal shows up in a lot of that.
It's too long. I will say, by the way, Jennifer Hale does voice Hawkgirl in Injustice 1.
I could see Jennifer Hale doing a good Cersei.
Yep, I think so too. Yeah, I do agree with you on that one. I think so. Actually, you know what's kind of funny, Cameron? With the fall of the mutants, when Krakoa fell, Jean died again.
See, that reminds me of like one of my favorite jokes. During Civil War, Logan goes to the X-Mansion, and it's like Professor X is dead. So Scott and Emma are running it. And at one point, Logan says, Jean Grey will be rolling in her grave. That is, if she stayed in it for more than 5 minutes.
I love that. By the way, Black Reaper, that's a funny comment because there was this moment where Deadpool kept touching Rogue, but because his powers were regeneratory, he just kept snapping out of it. He was like, anyway, It was so good. There's a lot of great Deadpool moments.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole X-Men 97 love triangle is kind of stupid.
There are a few things you shouldn't adapt, and that is one of them because Magneto is really old. That kind of doesn't work.
But he has a magnetic personality.
I mean, he's not you old, but he is old. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, of course. Yeah, they did kiss. Okay, Deadpool and Rogue did kiss. Yeah, that is interesting.
That kind of makes me wonder how would a relationship between Wolverine and Rogue work?
He would still heal. There was this great moment, dude, in Second Coming where they're being hunted by like Bastion. You actually saw him in X-Men 97. And So they need Rogue to escort Hope back to their little island hideout. So literally 5 X-Men just touch Rogue and like load her up with powers. So she's got like Colossus skin, Psylocke powers, Wolverine's claws, Angel's wings.
That's quite the Deadpool you got going on there.
Oh, come on, dude.
Oh. One character that I want to give a shout out to is everyone's favorite fish-netted magician, Zatanna.
Hell yeah.
And what I love is
By the
her
way,
out.
real quick.
Sorry. All right, go ahead.
Real quick. So here's the image of Rogue loaded up with everyone's powers. I felt this was too big of an image not to share.
Well, whoa.
I know, right? Isn't that great?
Okay, then I have to say this. My power is your power, and I can take more than one.
Yeah. So as you were saying,
you know, one of these days, if I ever date a Southern lady, I gotta get her to dress up as Rogue.
hell yeah.
All right, we gotta address the Wanda in the room. I know. I actually do like them as Magneto's children.
Yeah, considering the only reason why they were made not Magneto's children is for MCU synergy, and they couldn't reference the mutants, and it was so stupid. But in terms of Wanda, I like comic Wanda more than movie Wanda because the whole thing is like, I'm not a monster. I didn't kill anyone. Oh yeah, I did. I murdered people just because I wanted to steal kids from another Wanda in the multiverse, and I'm like.
See,
what?
All of comic Wanda's like worst feats are when she's under like extreme duress, extreme emotional stress. Like she's driven to make those bad choices. Like it's like, okay, you committed genocide, but you were literally insane. So like, you know,
like with Avengers,
Wanda, it's more of a she makes a conscious choice.
Particularly when it doesn't even follow with WandaVision, because the end of WandaVision, she let go. Well, yeah, there was the whole, she still had the Darkhold and stuff, so I guess that kind of goes with it. But still, it's like, it was really weird.
See, the problem with Wanda is like, they think they have like, oh, she just wants to see her kids. That's a great explanation. Like, yeah, to a point. You know? Like, we can understand seeing the kids. It's like the meme that goes around for Multiverse of Madness. All Reed Richards had to say is, you know, the multiverse is infinite, right? Well, let's find you a universe where your kids are alive, but your mom was killed. We can literally put you there. Let's say she gets into a car accident, she's killed instantly. We can literally put you there right at the accident, and the kids will be none the wiser. Everybody wins.
Done. Yeah, there you go. That plot is like ridiculously easy to solve when you bring in the multiverse. That's it. Yeah,
Zatanna needs to be mainstream. So the thing I was gonna say before Jared had a great idea and interrupted me. It's okay.
Was the image not badass, dude?
It was badass. It was worth the interruption. Not gonna lie.
There you go.
I love how. Yes, she's got a very sexy outfit, but she's a stage magician. Like, it makes sense because of her character.
And I like how they kind of try. So you know what she did? So have you read Identity Crisis?
No.
So that was the story where they basically retconned that Zatanna and the heroes were mind wiping the supervillains to make them more like agreeable members of society. And it's why Batman created Brother Eye. But Batman walks in on them doing it, so they mind wipe Batman. And then Wally West goes, "You don't do that to Batman. He's gonna kill us." It's so good.
This is a man who literally has a backup operating system in case of times like these.
He literally has a backup operating system in his mind.
And this isn't like a mechanical thing. This is a psychological backup personality in case he goes if stuff like happens.
Yeah, but even with that, I do like how they link like her origin with Batman, in that her father basically was one of Bruce's trainers when he was traveling around learning how to be Batman.
Oh, it's more than that. We've talked about this on the show before. But her father, Zatara,
Mm-hmm.
was a character in Action Comics, literally debuting with issue 1. And if you look at some of the early issues, Zatara actually gets the cover over Superman. So, because Zatara is literally as old as Superman, is just as vintage in the same comic as Superman.
Yeah, because what people need to remember is that back then sales got reported even slower than they did today. So the reason why like Zatara was like on the cover oftentimes more than Superman after Action 1 is because they didn't know Superman was like this big hit yet. When they found out, obviously, that's when Superman was like, nope, he's on the cover now.
Yeah, you know. And the other thing is, it was very rare back then for a hero to get his own issues. Like that's why a lot of these like Golden Age and some Silver Age characters debuted in like Thor, Journey into Mystery, or Superman Detective Action Comics, Detective
Comics for Batman, All-Star Comics for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think it was like Whiz Bang Comics for Shazam or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because remember, comics were still like in their infant stages as books. They were still newspaper strips and everything like that. But as for serialized stories that you would read in an actual book, that was still a relatively new thing.
Yeah, like the history of comics goes back like 500 years, but up until I'd say the 1900s, you saw the rise of comic strips in newspapers. But it wasn't until like the late 20s, early 30s they started collecting these into like the little big books, and then they started doing their own original characters. That's your abbreviated history of comics, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then it was after like Superman became this massive hit that they're like, okay, so let's do it. And I think Superman was the first to get his own book, if I remember correctly.
I don't know for certain, so I'm going to take your word for it.
It's either Superman or Batman. It's one of those two.
And if anybody has the real one, please let us know. We're really happy to.
And by the way, Nick, so it's kind of funny. I have the reprint of Detective 27, and what's kind of funny is the story where Batman debuts is like a 5-page thing. The rest of it is just other detective stories.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, if only you knew. If only you knew.
To be honest, I don't think Zatanna would work in a Vertigo setting.
Constantine, yes.
I mean, I could see like a one-off story, or even like if she teamed up with Constantine in Vertigo, maybe. But her character, she's a little bit too whimsical to work. Like, she'd suddenly make her dark and edgy. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, Constantine is the darker version of Zatanna, I think.
I mean, Constantine and Zatanna have teamed up many times. They're both part of Justice League Dark.
They've even dated a few times.
Yeah, makes sense. But, like, Zatanna is, like, the fun, flirty, like, she's, not really that kind of character.
I did also like how they aged her down in Young Justice when they brought her in. So, like, she's a kid alongside the other kids. I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, what's really funny is, in some continuities, Batman has slept with Zatanna, and Young Justice, it was Dick Grayson.
No one tell Bruce Timm! If you know your Batman Beyond lore, you know what I'm referencing.
Yeah. Watch out for straight kicks, Barbara.
Yeah. Right. So, Nick, remember, I made a very special intro for you that one time that included Young Justice and Teen Titans Go.
We had an agreement.
No, I know. We agree we'd never speak of that again.
Yes. It was well edited. I will give you that much. It was very, very well edited.
Yeah, exactly. Black Reaper says, I love how Deadpool got popular from a single comic and he was seriously funny. Actually, here's the thing. Deadpool being like the comedic guy, that came later.
Like 10 years later.
Yeah, because normally he was like a generic mercenary that happened to like pick up because his design looked cool. He was not the comedian that we think of now until 10 years later.
Yeah, like honestly, I think it was like One Pacific Run. Like that guy does not get the credit. Yeah, it sounds about right. He does not get the credit he deserves. Like Rob Liefeld pretty much has piggybacked the second half of his career off of Deadpool, which, to be fair, if I was handed those circumstances, I would too. So I'm not going to fault the guy.
because he still created the character. He gave them the blueprint.
But he didn't create the character.
That version,
if you know what I mean.
version that people think of when they think of Deadpool. Yeah.
Also, Keely, we all would.
Mm-hmm. If it would be Wonder Woman, I would.
Jared, you could say it would be quite the magical evening.
It would be an enchanted evening.
Oh God.
Maybe in an enchanted forest.
You know the one character I do like. They don't think it's kind of justice. Polaris.
Oh yeah, Magneto's other daughter.
It's like sometimes she's his daughter, but sometimes she's not.
She was actually in that X-Men show that is an X-Men show, but the actual X-Men never show up. I want to say it's called Gifted.
Yeah, I need to check that out, honestly.
I watched like a bunch of episodes. It's really good.
Yeah. I hear, and it's like, and it's like they have them show up in the background. Like I saw this one clip where like they gave Polaris Magneto's like Yahtzee coin, and she used it to turn it into her crown.
That's interesting. I didn't know that's where that came from.
In the show, at least. Yeah, there's quite a few of those, like like the Runaways or Cloak and Dagger.
That works.
Which, by the way, Cloak and Dagger actually has a former Power Ranger in it.
Is it the guy that plays Cloak?
No, it's the Dagger. It's Emla Hanna is the woman in that.
Who is she in Power Rangers?
Dino Thunder Yellow?
Oh!
Dude!
Okay. Interesting. Let's see, another female comic book character. See, I think part of the reason why that like female comic book characters struggle still is because you have the writers that are trying to like say female empowerment, but what they don't realize is that and when they do female empowerment, they make it so like, oh, they're better than the male characters, and I'm like, you really can't do that. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there's the yellow Power Ranger.
Wait, she was in Avengers Endgame?
What?
Why is she in front of the Avengers Endgame thing?
That was probably the premiere, like some premiere or something. So it looks like she wasn't Cloak. I think she was just like a cop or something or whatever. Looks like. Honest. Oh, and then there we go.
Dino Thunder power up.
Yeah, I love Dino Thunder. Let's see here. Casuals wouldn't know Polaris and they watched. Yeah. Oh, dude, we gotta talk about Black Canary.
I love Black Canary. She is like one of the most badass female characters in DC. And the thing about it is that her powers, yeah, she screams, but she's still a person. She doesn't have like invulnerability or stuff. So there's a little bit of inherent vulnerability there.
Hello, nurse. Yes.
Speaking of fishnets.
Oh, yes. Quack, quack, quack. God dang it, Keely. Oh, God. Okay, technically, Kimberly is a female comic book character. So.
Okay. In which case, technically, like, every female Power Ranger is one, because didn't they all, like, show up at one point?
Okay, my qualification is they need to have an extensive comic book thing, not like a tie-in comic.
Okay, yeah. Scorpina.
Or like a one-off crossover, like for example, saying Doctor Who is a comic character because he had a comic crossover or whatever. That doesn't count. But like Laura Croft had an extensive run under Top Cow.
Yeah. Scorpina.
Okay, I'm regretting this immediately.
She was the villain. Come on, dude. You can't tell me no. Rita Repulsa.
I mean, if you're into that kind of thing.
Yes, they have been doing her dirty, and Tom King is writing her as well.
I mean, also, Black Arrow is what it's called. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Why
Is that their ship name?
I think so. I think so, yes. I do agree with you on that one.
What about Canary Hawk?
Canary Hawk. What's that one?
Hawkman and Black. I'm just making them up right now. I'm making them up.
No, the Hawks work only with the Hawks.
Okay, let's talk. Speaking of Hawk people, let's talk about the one who wants to give that Jared wants Jared wants a mace to the face. Hawk Girl.
I really like Hawkgirl a lot. She's one of those characters that, again, DC doesn't use properly, but they need to, because she is like one of the. In fact, here's the thing about Hawkgirl: she is literally one of their. She technically is one of their biggest characters because of Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna play your other Keely, but we're not gonna ban you for anything. But yeah, that's just a little too spicy to put on the screen.
Oh yeah. Okay. By the way, Keely, I agree.
In 2024, there's no need for Vertigo label anymore, with Elseworlds, Black Label, and Image Book. Yeah. I don't know, I think there's a place for every company to have a more adult label. Because I feel like DC had the better adult label, but Marvel has the better alternate label. The Ultimate Universe is better than is better than Absolute. Because the Absolute Universe, they're just piggybacking off the Ultimate Universe. You may like the story.
No. Okay, so someone when we did the UTC episode on this, someone actually made up an interesting comment. The reason why they prefer the the Absolute Universe over the Ultimate, because the Ultimate Universe nowadays seems a little too much like just catering to Jonathan Hickman and not like an actual universe. The Absolute Universe actually seems like an actual universe.
The original Ultimate Universe was pretty much catering to Bendis and Miller.
Yeah, exactly. But the Absolute Universe still feels a little bit, because when you hear Scott Snyder talk about it, even with that, he's giving people wide creative freedom.
I don't know. It just to me, I love the history of the Ultimate Universe, and yes, I was a fan of it when it first premiered. And I like how this Ultimate Universe actually technically still kind of ties into the story of that original one. Spoiler alert, but yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, Cameron, I don't have much history with Spider-Woman. I've never really read her stuff, but I will say there's one actress who is perfectly poised to play Spider-Woman. There's two very good reasons I would cast this lady. In fact, she might have already played Spider-Woman.
Who?
Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, yeah. Do you really want to reference that crappy movie?
It had, to be fair, my goddess Sydney Sweeney, so. So, Retro is basically like, oh, you did? Nice. Ultimate Universe is cool, but Ultimate Deadpool didn't like him.
Yeah, they kind of screwed up Ultimate Deadpool.
How so?
I forget exactly. They made him really lame, and I don't remember exactly what they did because I didn't read.
Did Lois write the book?
Spider-Man, yeah.
Are you saying that Lois wrote the Deadpool book?
Probably did.
Which explains why it's so lame. There needs to be... Sadly, you're probably not going to see that, Keely, because I don't know if you've heard the announcement, But Hasbro's out. Hasbro is out of the. You want to talk about that since the topics are
Hasbro is not going to be making movies anymore.
It's completely off topic, but we're already kind of halfway there, so why not? From what I hear, that recent Transformers movie is pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was really good. It was really good. It's just it didn't perform well because they didn't market it well. They put out this trailer that made it look like a Disney Pixar movie, but it's not that.
From what I hear, like Chris Hemsworth actually did a pretty decent job.
Yeah,
like
he did.
I saw clips of it. He was like kind of trying to do like a Peter Cullen-esque performance. So respect to the dude. Which is sad. Like, which also means we're probably not gonna be getting a Power Ranger movie anytime soon because, like they were talking about it. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this right now. The 2017 Power Rangers movie is not the worst thing ever. I actually enjoy it.
It's not.
Is it a flawed movie? Yes. Is it basically a hour-and-a-half teen drama with a half-an-hour Power Ranger episode tacked on the end? Yes. Was it a good foundation that they could have built off of? And they were totally doing Green with Evil for the sequel, which would have been amazing? Also, yes.
Yeah.
Because, like, Jared, here's the plot that they probably would have gone with, okay? So you know how the post-credit scene was they teased Tommy. You know that? Okay, here's the plot. So you know how Jason was the star quarterback of the football team? Now Tommy is. Tommy is now the star quarterback of the football team, and that causes tension. Because now Jason has this group, and then Jason, like Tommy kind of enters the team. You know, it's like you have all this dynamic. That's your plot, is the tension between them. Maybe he starts to have some problems, and him and Kimberly break up, and then she starts dating Tommy. Like it's that, and then it becomes Green with Evil. It's actually a pretty decent setup for the movie.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. All right, Jared.
Everyone knows my thoughts on Justice League.
Let's hear them, sir.
It's the biggest crime of comic book movies ever, and it's one of the reasons why I don't think Joss Whedon should ever touch anything that's associated with DC ever again. Rant over.
No, please tell us more.
I've talked about this movie way too many times.
See, this is how over this movie he is. He can't even sewn up a good rant anymore. He's just that done.
The Snyder Cut exists, so I'm content to not talk about that movie ever.
Okay. Jared's correct. The movie is good, but the marketing was terrible. Yeah. Like, that's not to say we won't get Hasbro movies anymore. Because like Transformers is still a big enough brand. I think they're gonna do more movies. I don't think we'll get our Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. I think that's not happening. It might happen. Who knows? But yeah. Gosh. I wish Hasbro would just sell off Power Rangers already. Okay. And this would be so hilarious. So Saban brand launched Power Rangers. They sold it to Disney in the early 2000s. Saban brought it back in the early 2010s. It'd be so funny if they bought it back a third time. I don't know if that's happening, but that would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious, though.
But yeah. All right, so let's transition. We've got the hour mark. Let's transition to like a general Q&A topic here. So, Jared, is there any general comic book stuff you want to bring up?
I mean, there's not like a lot of stuff that's happening right now. I mean, if you want to talk about James Gunn making an ass of himself, we can.
Okay. Technically, they're Sonic comics, so that's a thin enough thread. Because it just dropped today, let's talk about Sonic 3.
What?
Did you see the Sonic 3 trailer?
Yes, I did. You mean where Shadow actually uses a gun? Yeah, and they literally recreated that shot from the Shadow trailer.
Yeah. See, here's what I am really excited about Sonic 3. I've loved the first two movies. You know me, I'm a huge Sonic fan. And just bringing Shadow, I really wish it would have been Hayden Christensen voicing Shadow, but Keanu Reeves seems to be doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, he is.
Also, if they drop a Cyberpunk reference, because the fact that you have both Johnny Silverhand and Solomon Reed in the same game is
that'd be hilarious.
Happy.
Like he's playing Cyberpunk or something.
Oh god. Or Sonic he goes to Knuckles and says, "Wake the heck up, Echidna! We got a city to burn."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Sonic 3 is going to be amazing. Also, when I go and see it in theaters, I will tell you if we cheer when the shot heard around the world happens.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's happening. We know it's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very interested to see how they do that.
See, this is what I like about it is, so Jeff Fowler worked at Blur Studios. He worked on Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, if you go into the credits of Shadow the Hedgehog, you'll see Jeff Fowler's name in there. So this is personal for him. This is personal for him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they did the Akira slide, which, I'm a fan of that.
Well, yeah, that it's almost like you put that in your comic book.
What do you want to see in the Sonic 3 movie?
More guns.
Oh god, what if Shadow says guns? Lots of guns.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be hilarious if they go in that direction. Now, here's the thing. Ordinarily, I would say they're probably not going to do that. But when it comes to the fact that they actually gave Shadow a gun in this, I'm like, there is no limit to what they can do with this.
Oh, I'm trying to think of like what other Matrix lines they could pull off. I wonder if they're gonna do like "There is no spoon."
There is that.
What other like famous Keanu Reeves lines could they do?
Whoa!
I give you a 90%, 99% chance that will happen.
I'm fairly certain they'll do that.
Yeah, because that's like one of Keanu Reeves' most famous lines through all this stuff. I think what's gonna happen is when he goes supersonic or Super Shadow, he's gonna go, "Whoa."
Yeah.
Let's see here. But I'm just really excited. Also, did you see the speculation that Amy might be making an appearance?
I hate Amy.
Why do you hate Amy Rose?
She's annoying.
You know who I hope voices Amy Rose? Anna Kendrick.
Hang on. Sorry about that.
Okay, that was like the perfect. Okay, all right. I just gotta say that was the perfect noise to play at the perfect moment. It almost sounded like
exactly. Yeah, I know.
That was good.
I felt that she was annoying in any of the Sonic games that I played or watched people play. So I'm like, nah, I don't like you.
Okay, so seeing as how you're wearing a Punisher t-shirt, what's your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again?
That's currently the only Marvel project that I'm really that interested in.
Yeah, what are the current Marvel projects?
There's that. There's Captain America. I love how they're trying to explain why Sam can like take a punch from like Red Hulk. In that, oh yeah, his suit is stronger, and I'm like,
I mean, I get it. Like, also like, so he's wearing multiple suits, so like, he only has one vibranium suit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think they'd make him multiple suits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's vibranium. They're not just gonna hand it out.
Yeah.
Like he's lucky he got one vibranium suit. Also, I just want to say this. his vibranium suit kind of makes the shield redundant.
Yeah, kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah, because like the whole point of the shield is it's like a really, really good shield, and that's all that Cap has. That's like that and the Super Soldier Serum are the only things that allow him to keep up.
Yeah.
Giving him a vibranium suit, just like I saw the clips of it. It's just like the suit looks redundant. Like, why would you throw the shield? You literally have missiles on your suit.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I don't know. Like I can understand but that blue suit, I really don't think that's vibranium. That looks like the Civil War suit.
What it probably is that he probably had Black Panther or Shuri make another suit for him. Probably, that's what I would say.
I don't really see them doing that because like that one suit was like kind of calling in a favor. I don't think they do that like multiple suits.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see. There's let me put it this way. Marvel's been kind of BS recently, so I wouldn't put it past him to like say, "Oh, Shuri made him another suit."
Oh, I'm
she's
sure
an
they'll
Avenger
do that.
now. Watch
everyone is Avenger. Everyone is.
They'll retcon at the end of Captain America that everyone's gonna be an Avenger.
Yeah, I mean everyone pretty much is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Also, can I just say I'm really getting tired of these like clickbait sites. Everyone's gonna be in Secret Wars. Jared, did you know that you're gonna be in Secret Wars?
Or like, I love the sites that are like, oh, this person says they would love to be in a Marvel movie. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone would like to be in a Marvel movie.
Keely Chow, did you know that you're gonna be in Secret Wars? Cameron Bailey, you're gonna be in Secret Wars. Black River Kai, you're gonna be in Secret Wars. Everyone's gonna be in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
See, whenever I hear those like news reports of like so and so wants to play this, and my thing is like, of course they would, of course they do.
Yeah,
it's just such a stupid. Like I get the whole so and so is in talks with Marvel. Like, okay, that's some actual news. It's a bit flimsy. It could go nowhere, but at least it's something. It's a little nougat.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap it up here. So, Jared, what do you got going on? Where can we find you?
All right, so I just uploaded Super Wonder Legacy episode 68, where Britt and I talk about Superman and Lois, how we would fix this, and we go into more in depth about why Tom King's Wonder Woman is horrible, and we're going to, what I'm considering doing for like a little fun bonus video, I'm going to clip out the portion where we talk about Tom King's Wonder Woman and put that on my Twitter and Instagram exclusively, just for people there, because ranting about Tom King's Wonder Woman run actually performs very well, so I kind of want to see if that would work.
Yes! Let the hate flow through you.
Exactly. So in terms of movie night, I'm still figuring out what I want to do. Right now, I'm leaning toward Marvel anime movies or like Marvel animation, like Ultimate Avengers. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up going with that. But in terms of gaming, and Under Two Capes is going to be on a Friday instead of Thursday because Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I want to give people the day off from my bearded mug. And let's see, what else? In terms of Wednesday's video, I'm going to upload ranting about Tom King's new character, Trinity. That's Wonder Woman's daughter and why she doesn't work.
All right. So tomorrow I'll be playing some Digimon Hackers Memory. That's going to be pretty sweet. On Friday, we'll be doing my Friday night feature where I talk about all the movies that Jared won't let me. Well, to be fair, this is the one we've already covered on Jared's channel. We're doing a Spider-Man one. Then on Saturday, I'll be playing some Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So, Jared, you got any final words, sir?
Just that Nick and I apparently have good taste in female characters.
That is true. So remember, everybody, I can only show you the door, Wonder Bat is canon.